Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as RobKTA, and I'm joined, as always, by my friend and co-host,
Rowan. You might know me as Mocha, and Regulation C building is really hard, as it turns out.
I hate it. I have not dove into it as much as you have. It is on my list, many item long list of things to do.
Real life's been hitting us pretty hard. Unfortunately we are not joined by Sheldon today. Real life's hitting him pretty hard right now, but I'd love to see what his Reg C building has been like. I know he was starting out with some like crazy sand tomb Ting-Lu stuff, so
I want to see if he got anywhere with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of crazy Regulation C stuff, you want to just jump right into the global challenge?
Yeah, so I think that's our biggest topic for today is that this past weekend there was the first, it was a global challenge instead of an international challenge. I don't know why they drew that distinction, but yeah, it's...
We already have ICs. We have EUIC this weekend. We had OCIC. We have NAIC.
They're not, those are international championships. It's totally different. Totally different IC.
Yeah, but it has to. IC is hard.
Okay, yeah. So this is the first time he gets CP online in any like reasonable amount. I think there was an event in Sword and Shield where you could get 50 if you were first, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's at 160 payout to the top player, which was kind of wild. And it went pretty well all the way down. I only got to play in day one, unfortunately, so I think I actually might scrape like 5 CP with the.
You would already have it. You can go to your Play Pokemon account.
You can, but I don't think you can see where you rank without Japanese and Korean players factored in.
You can go to your Play Pokemon account and see your CP. I think.
Oh, has it already paid out?
I thought so. I thought I saw people talking about it.
Okay, I'll need to check that. But yeah, if you I only got to play the first day, so it was a good record. But at the same time, the first day has a lot of. I don't know. I feel like I played a lot of like solid players, but there were definitely some easier ones too. So like you kind of weed out all the people who are there playing for the backpack in day one.
True. I got a backpack. That's it. I'm not getting CP. I played all 45 games. I learned.
All 45. Wow.
Yes. So I streamed my day 3. So that would be Saturday night. I streamed it. I started at like 9 o'clock or something and went till like 11:30 or midnight. But the key thing that I learned is that I started day 3 with like 22 battles. 23 battles. I did not hit 30 before day 2.
You had a lot to play on day 3.
I thought you only had 15 a day, period. But you can apparently make up.
Yeah, it's just you have a limit of 15 per day.
Unless it's the last day.
Sorry, like they add 15 to how many you can play each day, if that makes sense. I'm sure you get it. But yeah.
Got you. So it's on day 1 you can play up to 15. On day 2 you can play up to 30. On day 3 you can play up to 45.
In theory, you're allowed to play all 45 on day 3. It would just be unpleasant.
Okay, I thought it was a hard limit of 15 per day. Period. Right? Like I know it was additive like that. Gotcha. Yeah. Anyway, I did all of them. It sucks. I did 25-20. I stopped. I did do that stream while drinking rum, so I pulled a Sheldon on that one.
I don't know. Like I can play a lot of games intoxicated. Pokemon is not one of them. I don't know how y'all pull that off.
Oh well, I didn't.
Well, maybe you didn't pull it off.
I didn't do too bad. There was lots of fun. I think that the global challenge, I mean, if you go on, look at VGC Twitter and whatnot, like it's
a lot of people did not have fun with it.
Oh man,
it was the first. So we've been spoiled by open sheet this generation, and this was how it always was in the past. There was always closed sheet. Now, granted, Terra types really add another dimension to that. Like,
yes, they do.
I don't necessarily hate closed sheet. Yeah, I prefer open sheet by a massive, massive, massive margin. I can add in like 10 more if that like really gets the point across. But like, I think it's cool to have tech that you hide, but the ability for anyone to change into one of 18 types and you have no idea what it is just like too much variance. Like you cannot reasonably be expected to make a move that covers even most of the possibilities.
Yeah, it's tough. I know like a lot of people were complaining. You have the classic Armarouge and Didi, which I actually did see on the in during the GC, and like you just don't know what it's gonna do. It could
Yeah.
be any
I
combination of
mean,
things. I saw Mouse Ape doing some funky
a lot of
stuff.
people are doing cute stuff with Mouse Ape. Like they'll pretend it's the beat up set, but actually it's Final Gambit Pop Bomb. And you're
No,
like,
sorry.
yeah.
Excuse me.
So, and I mean that's like the tame end of it, right? You can go
Right.
so much further with all the gimmicky stuff. Like I did, I don't think there's any like clean centralized place for us to look at the teams that did the best. I might be mistaken.
No,
Maybe
I don't.
Victory Road has it, but
I've not seen if there is. Let's
yeah.
all
I
search.
did get to see some of the top performing teams, and they all had like cool little tech on them. But I did not. I didn't see anything that was just like outrageously cheesy. I was really hoping that people are going to like. I don't know. Like the ICs in Sword and Shield were. I think almost all of them were won by like Dynamax P2, and just like the kind of thing
Right.
your opponent would never see coming. And I feel like it wasn't as bad.
I don't see anything on Victory Road. But
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
yeah, I think it's gonna be hard. Like, there's no way to like. There is no centralized thing keeping track of it. Like, it's not like you can go look at the all the open sheets from like RK9 or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to get that. You have to really skim Twitter and private
Yeah,
discords and stuff.
we are not that dedicated, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I saw a couple of people. I went into the IC because of what you just said, right? Like about you used to close team. Open team sheets, best of three, yada yada yada. This is the first like competition, technically, that like we've been exposed to for Scarlet and Violet that is closed team sheet best of one, right? So I went into this with the idea of like, this is not necessarily it's not the same game we're used to playing, right? So it's interesting to see like people who are good at the game doing so poorly in the IC, but
And
it's equally not shocking to see some people who are good at the game doing well in the IC, right?
yeah, it's ultimately like the same variance you see in events is just going to
Yeah.
be here times 100. Like
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
the people at the top are going to be good players. There are not going to be any bad players who manage to go 40 and something
Right.
with just off of the luck of closed sheets, right? Like you'll get a few cheap wins, sure. You're never going to be consistent unless you're also really good, but really good people might not be consistent here, and like that already
Yeah.
happens in open sheet just because of like 50-50s, just because of RNG, just because of a bad day, and
Fissures.
yeah, let's
Oh, sorry, you already
file
said bad
that
day.
under our yeah, that's bad day and RNG, but like it's just a lot more here. Like people can
Yeah.
be playing perfectly, like make the most reasonable play in the situation, and the most reasonable play is exactly what you build cheese teams against, right? Like,
Right.
you're like this is what they're gonna do, and it's not gonna work because of this like one silly thing I've built here.
Yeah. So I mean, looking what week and a half to the next one. So we just got the announcement
Yeah, that's
before
so soon.
recording.
We're getting just the second one
Yeah.
already.
So that's literally 2 weeks apart, right? So April 21st to the 23rd will be the Global Challenge 2023 number 2. So I'm guessing it's the same. It's gonna be the same thing again, right?
Howl Screamtail. That's the sauce.
Owl Screamtail. Don't give that away. I mean, the 25 people who listen to our podcast, they know. No, but like, it's cool that they're doing it again. It also kind of sucks that they're doing it again so soon.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, it's bittersweet.
I think this is because they're realizing that there aren't enough people for worlds.
You
I don't know
have
if you
okay, so you have like
there
you have
actually aren't that many
events.
people who have qualified. If you look at the rankings,
I,
there's a bunch of people who have qualified like 2 to 3 times over. Don't get me wrong, but there
look
are
at you, Wolf.
right. But like Wolf, Alberto
So
Lara's, I think was the number one the last I saw. But yeah,
I'm
there's a bunch.
pulling up
There's
my Pokemon now because you have piqued my curiosity because I did look at this the other day actually. I was looking
at least the
this.
last I checked, the list of people over 300 is not that high, and we still have more regionals and we still have NAC to go. But like, I don't know. It's day one worlds is supposed to be large, right?
Supposed to be. So hold on, let me click this button a few times. Oh nope, nope. just one page. Cool. There are, as of recording, there are 35
People qualified for Worlds.
people who are qualified for Worlds.
Which, is that small? I feel like it's small.
It has to be small because, like, I think the Worlds last year didn't it have like 400 people in day
Wow.
one. I don't think I'm making that up, but I think
Yeah,
it's
because you
something
also have
close.
to consider that, yes, some portion of those people will skip straight ahead to day 2.
Right. Right. So you have the people who are day 2, which is like gonna be, I don't know, half this page. So as of recording, I'm sorry, Wolf. I didn't mean to call you out because you're only twice, 2 times qualified, whereas people like. No, actually, no one is 3 times qualified. No one has 900 points. That doesn't sound right. I thought I saw bigger points. I could be wrong. Anyway, Alberto Lara, Joe Ugarte, and Gavin Michaels are 1, 2, and 3 spot.
And Gavin won OCIC, and
Yeah.
Joe and Alberto have just been unreasonably
Constantly at the top.
consistent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, we still have NAIC, but I still think that's like what they're gonna churn these events out. I think just to like
Just to try and
really
pad.
supplement people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be
is
nice, except that these events are awful to play.
Yeah. Yes.
Like the real thing is just that either you have to like really embrace the cheese mindset and have something yourself for it, which I think is totally fine. It's a fun time if you can do that, but like the second you
Yeah.
start caring about your results, that becomes less enjoyable.
It's tough.
But like, I don't know. I am convinced they just didn't code in the ability to do open team sheets, even if they wanted that. So,
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
don't even know. I can't even imagine open team sheets on cart, like as part of cart.
Make it so that you can flip through your opponent's entire
not in
like
40
party sheet.
seconds.
No. Like have it available to you at all times when you go to Pokemon. Like make it so you can hit R and go through their team instead of yours.
Yeah, but like still, you are time limited with
You only
menu
have
clicks
to look at their mons, right?
and- Sure.
Or like the mons that they have out, rather. You only have to look at 2 mons.
I mean, I guess that's true.
2 screens.
I guess I don't know. That still blows my mind. I don't think that would be so hard.
They clearly don't have the ability to do it, so we're just stuck with this scuff
Yes.
thing. Or like put the Terra types on team preview, dear God.
At least Terra types. That would be easy to see. But like looking at like everything else, all the other details, like that's a lot. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people won't let you see their sheets in tournament until the clock starts ticking on team preview, right?
Yeah, but I don't have to click through menu buttons to see that, right? Like
No.
I don't like
Get good.
so to use my turn time and I guess my time literally. It's just I just look down,
Yeah.
right?
Or give us 60 seconds before team preview where we're allowed to look at the stuff. I don't know.
That would work. But hey,
Yeah.
you know what? That's more coding.
Yeah, that is work they're not going to do for us. So we're gonna have to live with this. At the very least, we do have more opportunities for points. So I hope they do these like every 2 weeks or something crazy. And
Yeah,
just
that's
give us
super
the ability
cool. And
to
then-
rack these points up.
We also have locals coming back, right? So
Yeah.
the problem with locals that I've learned is that like a TO can only organize one event a month worth CP. So if you have like one TO in your area and you can't make one of their events,
It's really restrictive from what I've heard. Like
Yeah.
one of the guys that we thought was going to be able to do it apparently has to do something else to be qualified. Like there's like very anal criteria as to whether the like non-CP tournaments you've done count before you're allowed to do the CP tournaments. So like I think locals are
so like a fresh TO can't even do a CP
yeah, no,
tournament?
you have to have done events already in
You
order
have to be
throw
a
an
stage
event.
1.
Something like that, yeah.
Because I do like basic stage 1, stage 2.
Yeah,
for all
I
the
think that's
things.
what it is. You have to be stage
That
1.
would suck. I see.
Not would it simply is like
That does
yeah,
suck. Yeah,
I don't,
sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a little rough. I think that this season is going to be a little rushed just because we went directly from the new game release into this. I'm hoping they put a little more thought into the next season. Not even next year, because like Worlds is the middle of summer, right? Like we're gonna go straight into next season. Like
next season starts in September. Yes.
yeah.
Next year starts in September. Right. Like it's going to be interesting to see the transition after Worlds to see how popular like will we still get 780
800-person locals, yeah, because
not locals, regionals? Please,
sorry,
not locals.
regionals, yeah.
Imagine an 800-person local. Oh,
That would be sick.
that'd be
Also,
wild.
yeah. So speaking of giant events, EUIC is this weekend. And
Yes.
if I recall, I think it actually has broken 900 entrants. So this will be
Has
the
it?
new biggest Pokemon tournament ever.
What?
That's going to dethrone Orlando. And it's
That's cool.
yeah, and the points are actually worth it for once. Like I think a lot of people say that ICs like NAIC, EUIC, OCIC are all like ways to farm points.
Yeah.
And they probably were in the past, but not like the competition is going to be even harder than a regional now, and the regionals
Right.
these days are harder than internationals ever were prior
Yeah,
to this generation. But
Just
yeah,
in
you're totally right.
generals.
I don't know if it's going to stick this way or if this is still just like new generation hype.
New gen. It's new gen events returning. Like there's there as much as I want it to stay big, and I think it will continue to grow. Don't get me wrong, but I think
Yeah.
it's going to be like this is the surge. We already
It'll ebb back down, and the next surge will be even higher than this.
we already correct. We already see the drop off, right? Like Milwaukee and Hartford are still open for registration, and they've only hit like 500.
Yeah. Now, with that said, I bet you, people registering for EUIC, a lot of them were clicking F5 at the second it changed over, and
NAIC
they
is
didn't
gonna
get
be a
their
different
spot.
story. Yes.
NAIC is probably going to be
If
equally
EUIC
large.
is that big and it was that hard to get into, I'm hoping, tentatively hoping, because I want to get into NAIC, but it's going to be just as big and just as hard to get into, I bet.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be difficult.
it'll dethrone EUIC as the biggest event. But yeah, like again, but for regionals, it's already dropped off. So like, we're already seeing that change. We're gonna continue to see that, I think, in the new season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just got to hope it has legs. And, so I'm really looking forward to EUIC, though. This is going to be the first tournament since so I mean, we had Fort Wayne for Reg C,
First
but like
big,
it's the first
big-
real like. I don't want to take anything away from the people who did well at Fort Wayne. Like, obviously, it was a real tournament, but it was the first week of the format being a thing, and
Yeah,
everyone
it was Regulation C's Orlando, yes.
and everyone who traveled for these things, like, at least I don't know, at least for Orlando, we had all been like mostly prepping
Yeah.
Series 2 the whole time. But for Reg C, most of the people who did well at Fort Wayne were traveling directly from Charlotte. Like, they went home for 2 days and then went right back into a plane, into a car, whatever.
And there was a handful of people I saw on like Twitter and whatnot that like, hey, I'm not going to Charlotte. I'm just going to Fort Wayne, right? It's like
Yeah.
people were choosing the two, and then they could focus on one
Right.
format
But I
or
don't think any of those, or maybe not very many of those people actually did well. Like, all the good performers all went to both.
That's the
And,
consistency
yeah.
that we see from good performers.
So
isn't it?
I guess what I'm getting at here is that
now
the
they've had
teams that
time.
the teams we saw in Fort Wayne, obviously well built, but they were the comfort picks of those really good, consistent players, right? The
Yeah.
people who had spent all their time building for Reg C and skipping tournaments like Charlotte. I'm sure they put together good stuff, but they're like, that bit of extra time doesn't measure up to the experience and skill of the really consistent players like Joe and Justin Tang and all them.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that this tournament, EUIC, is going to be the first time that we see teams that people have gotten to put real time into.
But the question is, at EUIC, which Justin will win?
Uh,
Oh, no, sorry, that's not a regional. So
oh
It's
yeah,
a-
true.
it's a-
I mean,
I
if
see.
if Justin Tang takes an international right after a regional,
my
then
gosh.
I think he has to be number one player in the world right now. Like, there's no really contesting that.
he is point wise, he is number 13.
But he's only been to 3 events.
No. That takes nothing away from the statement you just said. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Like, oh my gosh, he is day 2'd and top cut all 3 events he's been to, and won 2 of
No,
them.
yeah, 1, 2 out of 3, and then top 16 of the other one. Like, that's actually unreal.
Oh, it's top 16. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. He didn't. Yeah, so they're 8 is top cut. Nowadays?
With day 2
Or-
Swiss, yeah, 8 is cut now.
Okay, never mind. Ignore
I
me.
mean, it's kind of a hard distinction because, like, to say it's top 8 for a tournament with 800 people is kind of wild. It used to be like, before day 2 Swiss, it would be top 32 cut
Yeah, okay.
for reference, and like, now we get the second day, which is awesome, but it also means that cut, like, quote unquote cut, is harder to make.
Yeah. You would know.
Because I missed out on it horribly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping
You're
to
so close. Shut up.
next time we take
Hartford
the night
is right
before
around the
more
corner.
seriously. Yeah, Hartford's going to be good. I don't know about around the corner. We got a solid month.
Big
and a
big
bit
corner.
till that.
Very big corner. Month and a half corner. But right around that month and a half corner is Hartford. Month and a half? Month? Something like that. 5 weeks.
What is your prediction? What dominates at EUIC?
Oh man. That's a good question. I think it's gonna be a Series 2 team. A team that looks like Series 2. Regulation B, whatever. With like Chiyu on it. Like just one of Chiyu.
Okay,
with
it's going to
Senpao.
be an established Series 2 team because
think so.
every Reg C team is a Series 2 team with one Ruin on it.
No. I specifically think it's gonna be like one Ruin.
Yeah, I don't think there's many teams that do run 2 these days. Honestly, like you can kind of shove the defensive ones together,
Yeah.
but like
But that's it. I think like we'll see like we'll look at the top on EUIC. We'll see a team of like, oh, that looks like Gavin Michaels' team. That looks like Justin Tang's team from before, right? But like boom, there's like one of the offensive
okay.
ones on it. What do you think?
I'm gonna be really boring and say that Pala Balance is just
Pala Balance. I was gonna try and interject like you're gonna say Palafin, and I agree, but still.
yeah, like literally the Palafin, Arcanine, Amoonguss, Fluttermane. I think that those 4 will be on the winning team, or the majority of those 4.
I mean, you look at the stats that like the stream shows in the middle of things. It's like these are the Pokemon. These are the top 10, top 12, whatever Pokemon that are doing well, and you see those. We've seen them every
But it's just become really apparent in the practice leading up to this. It's just like those 4 are really really good together, like, and not in like an obvious murder you kind of way. They like you just always have a play.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know. This might be like me coming like I've had this grand
You
awakening.
coming to terms of like this is my.
I've had this grand awakening that Arcanine, I can actually play Arcanine suddenly. Like, I have always tried because it's always like the best mod in every format, and I always take it out and just get murdered with it. And I'm like, why aren't you Incineroar? Like,
Why aren't you?
Why aren't you simply?
Why aren't
better,
you your cat cousin?
Why aren't you better than you are? And it's because I was playing it or playing it different. I think the only reason I do well with Arcanine now is by playing it as like bad Incineroar. Like, what if I make you bulky and strong?
And then it works.
And have Intimidate. Yeah, it turns out I win if I can Oko things with Flare Blitz.
Yeah, I have a couple of pastes on my showdown for Pala Balance in some capacity, and I need to actually sit down and grind out dozens of games with it to actually grasp it. Because I feel like I agree. I feel like that's honestly, it's gonna be Pala Balance and then Chimpow or something.
Yeah, versus something incredibly hyper offensive. And like at the same time that balance stuff it's always someone better playering someone else when they win with it, right? And like that's so why I felt like that might just be why I did well the weekend with it, is because I was playing like bad players on the first day, and so of course like the skill differ wins with that. But like I don't know. What I want to see win, what I don't think is going to win, I want to see Wolf come back and use Perish again and use the defensive ruins on Perish.
Like Wo-Chien, Ting-Lu, Perish?
Yeah, like it was like, oh, like you think you're killing Gothitelle? No, I'm going to fake you out and lower the stat that attacks me.
I do think that we'll see more Wo-Chien. I think we'll see some Wo-Chien.
Yeah,
because we saw none.
That was we talked about it last time, but that was
Yeah.
like the biggest difference between like the different overseas regionals is like Europe knows how to use Wo-Chien apparently, and we do not, or maybe they don't know how to handle it and we do. Unclear, one or the other. But like,
sure,
there was like I think there was 3 or 4 Wo-Chiens in their top 8, and you had to go down
No, it was
to
like I think it was like 3 or 4. Yeah, sorry,
yeah,
I think
you
so,
had
like
to go
half.
all the way down to number 32 or 33 to find a single Wo-Chien in America.
Yeah,
like,
I think it was not in 32 for America. We could check, but like yes, you're right. Like it was that big of a difference, and what that poor snail is just so far down on this side of the pond. Yeah, I'm curious.
I have no empathy for that snail. Every game I think I don't think I want to play it. I don't think it's good, but it's
I
really
want to
annoying.
play it.
It's
I
so
want-
annoying.
I probably have said this on the pod already. I want to play it just so that I can name it Rochan. That is actually the main reason I want to play it, and then I just think it'll be fun to annoy people with it. But the main reason is for a nickname. Like, don't. That's what I want to do so bad.
Awful little thing, yeah. But yeah, but I realized that my prediction is literally like, I think Fluttermane is going to win. It's like, that is a good bet. That is
Mind blown, galaxy brain. Fluttermane's gonna do well.
the Mon with, I'll not just do well. I think it's gonna win, but the Mon with
win,
80% usage probably will win.
Is it up to 80 now?
I don't know if it's 80. It's like
It was
it's like
like
60 or 70 or something.
Six,
It's like,
no, it was like 62. Like it was.
it was 60 back in series or regulation B. And now I
There
think
you
it's
go.
higher.
Retroactively, regulation B. No, yeah, of course.
Oh no, it's only 6. No, according to Pikalytics, it's only 66%.
Oh, it's only 66.
That might be higher. That's higher than Incineroar ever was in Sword and Shield, I want to say. I just said something without checking it when I can literally look at it right here. But
That sounds about right.
no, that's a lie. Incineroar actually hit 73. And Zacian hit 69. So, okay, you're not quite Incineroar or Zacian good.
Oh man, poor Fluttermane. No, but it's there, and honestly, like, with the difference. Oh, hold on, I pulled up Pikalytics with the difference of 66.11% Fluttermane, and then the next one is Chi-Yu at 37%.
I don't know that I believe these stats, or they must be like day one stats or something.
Well, it's always like day one of the month.
There's no
right?
way that Chi-Yu is number 2 in usage. I do not believe that.
This data is 2 weeks stale.
Okay, I could see it being 2 weeks old, but
And it's
yeah.
and it's from the last month's usage. Like this is January, February, March, April, March's usage stats basically. But also you can filter out to. Oh, I see. So if you do like everything, all encompassing ladder, it's like only 51%. 760 plus, it's 66%. So that says something, I guess.
Yeah, actually, Chi-Yu gets worse as you go further down the ladder. That's funny.
Oh, it is really fun to look at. Anyway, hey y'all, Pikalytics is a cool tool to look at for understanding last month's stats of Pokemon and usage.
Yeah, it's going to be good after a month. It usually takes a little while because the data's just not there yet. But
yeah, I forget. I used to know the details of how that happened, like how you got.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they're getting it at all. It usually took them a full month of a format before they were able to do it. Maybe just because Reg C came out early as well.
I think it was on Showdown for a while.
A couple of weeks before, yeah.
Yeah. So, anywho, that's super cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what does well in EUIC. Because my overall plan for team building, going back to
is to steal something from EUIC.
Absolutely. Well, I won't look at like we
I am too. No shame.
Sydney and Fort Wayne, but like and like you said, like those are very early in the format. EUIC is going to show something really cool. I'm going to look at all 3 of those top 16 teams, pick one that looks fun, and then butcher it. That is how I'm going to team build.
I like that. Yeah, I've like found what feels comfortable for me, but yeah, there's got to be like some kind of sauce that's going to become like a really common core for this format.
You already named it.
Oh yeah, it's like the most obvious. Like, what are the best fire, water, grass mons in the game, and the other one that's the best. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I want to see more. I want to have more choices. I realize I've earned points both times I brought Dragonite to a regional, so that's maybe I need to keep that going.
5 of your 6 Mon, and then just throw a Ruin on there. Chien-Pao, done.
Yeah, that's like the joke everybody's throwing out. It's like, what if we just played Gavin Michael's team but replaced Baxcalibur with Chien-Pao?
Yeah,
it's cute. It's cute.
It's not a bad idea. Although
the problem is like, I don't know. I think there are things that have come up that are harder to deal with because of the Ruins now, and Series 2 teams just didn't have to think about them. But like,
oh well, the Ruins ruin math. Like that's their whole.
Yeah, they make it very difficult to do math.
They make
this
math
game.
hard. This is all a math game.
Yeah, this is like 20. It's 25%, but it's done as a stat bonus, like photosynthesis, so which is 30% usually. So you have 30% for photosynthesis, 25% for a ruinous ability, and then anywhere from 0.3 to 0.5 for your item boost, and then you can multiply stat changes on top of that.
No, point two to point
and,
five.
and weather, 0.2 to 0.5 depending on your item.
Like charcoal, and those
Yeah.
are only point two. And no one runs like again. I still think there's some merit to it, but punching gloves are only a plus 0.1.
So 1.2 is the minimum that any item can give, and
Correct. Yeah, it makes like there's so much math there, and all of that does equal 100%
me losing because I can't add. I
my
can't
smooth
multiply.
brain cries.
Yeah, that's rough.
It really changes. I mean, like I think we talked about it on this pod, but like game sense and all that. Like you have to, you get an idea of how this math is going to work, not doing math, just by being used to it.
Just by vibes. Yeah,
by vibes. Math by vibes doesn't work
I've
with
been,
feelings.
It does. You just need new vibes. I've been joking and saying that as like the way I've been playing for this generation, but it's so true. I don't know. I was like, it is very rarely that I'll go into a turn these days and be like, I know exactly what all the options could be, and this is the best possible choice that covers all of them. It's just like, I think he's gonna do this. I'm just gonna. Why not? And it seems to pan out like 60% of the time. So.
That's better than a fissure, so I think you're good. Better odds. But yeah.
This week was a little light, to be honest. We'll have a lot to talk about with the EUIC after the weekend.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. What was the craziest thing you saw in last weekend in the IC?
Oh, in the GC? Oh, God.
Sorry. You had me on it.
I actually wrote this down. I complained about it. That's the word I'm going to use. But I think I won. All the crazy stuff I saw was like crazy but bad. Like, I'm so glad that someone with a brain isn't doing this, because
there is a
it would
lot
have
of
gone really poorly for me if like they weren't like otherwise bad at the game.
Right. There's a lot of I brought my team from the game into the competition.
And like I'm being really mean here. It's like if you just want if you just want the bag, then like thank you for the 3 points and enjoy your bag. But like I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know the most annoying thing that I saw.
What was it?
Communication with the opposing trainer has been.
Oh God, yeah. I only got one disconnect, and it gave me the points, so I was really happy about that. Use a wired connection on your Switch the next time you do this.
The thing is like, so my dock here. Wait.
They sell really long. Yeah, you see that white cable behind me?
No, hold on.
It's on the ground. It's next to the little cat house.
Yes, that.
That is a 100-meter Ethernet cable that snakes down 4 stories of our house and is nailed to the wall / ceiling at every point.
You do mean meter.
Meter. Goes down 4 floors to the only internet access point in the house, which is 4 stories below my office here, or my game room here. And like, yeah, it is.
Wow. Okay, so my setup is a little different than that. My Switch dock I have I have an OLED Switch now because I have the Scarlet Violet one because I'm a sucker for pretty tech.
There's the Ethernet port in that.
It's built in, but I also did have before that a USB, and my Switch is about 3 inches from my Switch. Wait, my
Your
network
Switch
Switch.
Okay. Seems like you get a really short cable.
Is about 3 inches on my network Switch. Anyway, yeah. So it is hardwired, and I realized that the whole time I was streaming, playing, I don't think I got disconnected. So like, yeah, it was when I was.
Yeah, the thing about these games is that they're peer to peer. The second you get connected, like there are Nintendo servers handling matchmaking.
Yes.
But once you hit a match, you're set up on a peer-to-peer connection with them, and if one person drops, there's literally no third party to reconnect you. So like even the smallest blip, even if your Wi-Fi is blazing fast, if it lets go for a second or two, then like that's it, you lose.
Hopefully they let go.
Yeah.
Because I got like probably out of the 45 games, I got like 6 disconnects,
Uh,
and I think it was pretty even, like me versus them.
yeah,
So
no,
like,
I saw horrible. Like apparently Justin Tang like
yeah,
had to really
he
grind
was.
to get a decent score at the end because he just lost like most of them day one or got locked out. Like they banned him for disconnecting too much.
Isn't the story like he's on
I
like
think it's on like college Wi-Fi,
campus?
so that's 100%
Yeah,
on him. But like it's there are a lot of people who are complaining similarly. Like you really need
yeah.
just like the most basic of disconnect or of reconnect features to handle this.
Oh, it was really nice. Don't get me wrong, it was really nice because the disconnects that worked in my favor I had in the beginning. And I was like, yeah, this is great. Woo, free wins. And then when it happened the other way, I was like, this feels bad, man, because I was gonna win that one. I saw the thread there. I got it. Man.
Okay,
Bad.
I feel like the last topic we've got, and this is like a small one, but on the topic of basic reconnect features, Pokemon Stadium has been released on NSO. No, I'm quite serious. You should watch Pokesport's most recent episode where
I
they're playing
know. I
they're
heard them
playing an
talking
online
about it
battle.
on their pod.
Mike disconnected, and then they're like, "Oh, what? You can just click the button, go back in. Your friend is waiting for you on there. You should join them."
The fact that they put that on a 2-decade-old game.
They retrofitted that into a Nintendo 64 game. The Nintendo 64 could not connect to the internet by any means.
And then they can't do that for their
You
competitive.
Yeah, you could make a case for
game.
like it not being that hard on the GameCube because there was like you could jump through a bunch of hoops and set up a
Yeah.
modem for your GameCube. You could not for the Nintendo 64. They retrofitted this into like this is a feature that you only got on like very nice emulators back in the day, and they couldn't be bothered to give their esport like you don't actually have to sync up all the state online. Literally just like a lobby ID and let people back in.
Yeah, something simple.
Anyway,
It
this
makes
has been your weekly software engineer complaining about things. It's fine.
Oh man, I don't. We could sit here and the two of us could really rip this game.
We're not
apart.
talking about VGC anymore. We're just ripping things apart technically. Like
Yeah, maybe next time Sheldon can't make a podcast and we have nothing to talk about, we'll just go all software engineer on this game and,
yeah.
and really complain.
But Stadium looks really like honestly it hasn't aged that badly graphically. Like some of it looks bad, but like still
I
has so
saw-
much character.
No,
like
no, I
there's
saw something. I think like Game Explain or someone like, isn't there like a graphic overhaul on the game? Like, didn't they?
I think
up it a little bit?
it's just upscaled, I think.
Okay.
They
so
didn't
it's not like
it's still all the original models.
interesting.
But
Oh,
yeah, I mean, like if you like the animations on those are like so actually like they're like funny and like have a lot of character to them. I don't know, like it aged as well as a game from the '90s could age.
oh, I see. Yeah, I see the upscale. That looks really good in a comparison. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now the downside, of course, is like the whole draw of these games is back in the day when we had our little 2D sprites on our Game Boys that were black and white. Getting to see like full color 3D models of those battles was a novelty
yeah.
instead of just part of the game. So that was
Yeah.
awesome. And you had to buy a big chunky piece of plastic that you'd shove your Game Boy cartridge into, and then shove that into the back of your controller, and you could load all your whole playthrough party from your Game Boy into it and battle with them in all kinds of end game scenarios that weren't in the games. And
it was glorious.
unfortunately, that is missing in Virtual Console. You have to use the rental teams, which are just sample mons with effectively random moves. They're all really, really bad sets. So
Oh, really?
like anyone who wanted to play the RBY like competitive meta in like nice graphics and non-showdown is kind of out of luck there. But it's still a nice trip down nostalgia lane. Like it looks a lot of fun, and the mini games are still there. So
Yeah, if I might, there's a handful of things that are coming to NSO Plus that I'm like, do I want to upgrade my subscription to do that and have fun and play with it?
it's finally
maybe.
getting to the point where when they came out with that, I was like, who would ever pay money for this? But if you're telling me you're bringing stuff back from my childhood and adding online to it, like maybe.
It's tempting. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's tempting.
The second they add GameCube to it, I'm officially sold. But
I think I might be with you on that. We'll see. Is that everything? We do have
think so. Oh, signups are up for the Battle Corner Regulation
Yes.
C, so definitely jump in there. Unfortunately, Cap had to drop from our last Series 2 one, so I'll be playing Poppy in the finals.
Yes.
Yeah, most likely tomorrow. So yeah, we'll get a
Have a
winner crowned
winner
for
right
that,
before we
and
start
we'll
the
start
next
a new
one.
one.
So I think when I initially posted that, I might push the date out a little bit because
Yeah, we'll have the deadline be well after EUIC, so people can take.
yeah,
what they
because I
learn there.
forgot EUIC was a thing. There's some other stuff happening this weekend in the community, and then like we have not pushed it enough as of recording, so
Yeah.
we need to do better at that. There's plenty of time to sign up if you're hearing this Thursday, Friday, whatever. All of those announcements and more can be found at our Discord, which is in the link tree down below, along with our Patreon. If you'd like to support us there, for as little as $1, you can get our content about approximately 8 hours early when I finish editing stuff and I throw it up on Patreon, and then we will do more things for Patreon.
You have access to a special Discord channel where we will help you make whatever team you'd like.
We do have that as well. All those fun things. All of our individual stuff is down there. We'll do our own plugs here in a moment. This weekend is EUIC. This weekend is Typhlosion raids. If you want to get those 7-star raid Pokemon like I have been, except for Decidueye. So that's exciting because that rounds out the Hisuian starters. Which certainly means that home is coming soon, right? I hope. Don't hold your breath. What'd they say?
Early 2023. Hey, it's not early. It's not early. 2023 isn't over till August. Not
Until
August.
June?
July.
Yeah, July, like
Yeah.
through June. First half of 2023 is early
Yeah,
2023.
technically early. It's not late.
I wonder what early means. Like, is there a Japanese translation there that might shed some light on time frames?
There is a crunch time translation that probably
We
didn't quite make it.
Stop. We're talking about software engineering stuff on another episode.
Okay.
I have not experienced crunch in my whole career, so hopefully that stays for a little bit at least.
Yeah. I hope you don't either.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think we've actually finished on all the things we want to talk about. So, my name is Harrison. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at RowIxon, as well as stuff down below. I'll eventually put out YouTube videos. I have like 3 that are almost done that I'm just way too lazy to finish.
I'm excited to see your content.
No, the 3 that I'm talking about, it's all from a stream where I was sick.
Oh, okay.
So I actually sound terrible. I also realized I think this is the first episode in like 2 months that I've not been some kind of sick for. I think, and like,
You should just go all out and add some like crazy voice filter to it. Like,
so I
would watch your
this.
content if it was like, I don't know, Yoda with a head cold playing VGC. I'd watch your content anyway, but
Like Fisher, I will.
yeah, there you go. That for like 30 minutes though.
I don't think. Well, voice filter aside, I don't think that I could feasibly like do Yoda speak that long and not
Are you willing
play VGC.
Are you willing to give up your voice for the content?
Yeah, voice aside, I could not. You don't want to do a podcast with me doing that for
I'd
50 minutes?
mute you, but it would be great.
That'd be bad for the whole conversational aspect of a podcast.
Just nod
Anyway.
knowingly, it'll be fine.
All of my stuff is down below in the link tree. Rowan, who are you?
I'm Rowan. You can find me on Twitter, Rowan W. Hall, YouTube, Rowan Hall. The last content I put up was my match against Kevin in the Malamar games. Kevin from Pokesports, a lot of fun. We did a match where I'm forgetting the restriction now. There
was no levels. No level ups.
Yeah, it was no mons that evolve by level up.
Yeah.
How do you know my content better than me?
Evolution not by level up. Like
Correct.
every time that this has been so in our conversation, like in the game corner conversation, in like the conversation we have with like Kevin and them and Bruno and all that fun stuff, like every time I've asked about this specific one, people are like, it's no level up. That explains it, right?
A
No,
lot
it
of these
doesn't.
a lot of these themes are really fun to build and play, and are utterly impossible to advertise, like to
Yeah,
put them in a
it's
video title.
evolution without evolution by not leveling up.
Okay, cool. Now turn that into a clickbait title. 10 seconds ago.
Nope.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
absolutely not. This is I'm not in the Malamar games for a reason
Yeah.
because I'm
Well,
not doing
anyway,
that.
it was a really cool set. Kevin and I both brought some gimmicks that actually came into play heavily,
I do
and
need to watch that one. I'm pretty
yeah,
excited.
it was a lot of fun. I was gonna say, yeah, that's pretty much it though. My next match is against Sierra Dawn, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna get a video up for it, and yeah, check me out.
What's that theme?
That theme is monotype. Yeah,
Oh, that's an easy one to advertise. People actually know what monotype is because
right.
that's a format.
Yeah. I've got something. I've got. Some
Have you
solid
picked your
stuff
typing
together.
yet? You don't have to say it.
I have. I'm not going to say it.
Okay. You can tell me after the fact.
Next
So
week, next
I do want to know. And if it is it dolphin?
I actually, so any other format. Actually, I'm not going to say. No. It could be.
Yeah, I was actually shocked you said those many words.
Yeah. I'm giving things away.
We've been the Game Corner. Thank you to RobKTA and Game Chops. These were our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner, off of the Ultraball album. You can, like I said before, you can find all of our stuff down below. I just cut you off because I know you wanted to be done. Yeah, that's it. So until next time, press start and game on. Bye.